Sometimes in the lives of many guitar players, they need to make the big decision to become a singer, as you did after your early band Bloodline finished. And how hard was it for you to get your singing chops together, as you have stated you are not a natural singer?
I've been singing about 18 years, 19 years now, and I had to make a decision. Do I want to play instrumentals? Do I want to play in a band with a singer? And I've always found in my career that the fewer things that you leave to chance, aka in the hands of others, the better off you are. So I decided to start singing basically so I didn't have to deal with a lead singer that had a kind of a fear of success. Most singers, or a lot of them I've run across, have this fear of success, or they enjoy snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. And the music business is so hard, and you work so hard to produce something that you can't leave anything to chance. So I decided to sing basically out of self-preservation. And the fact that anybody likes my voice, my first solo album, I thought, my God, I just don't sound good. And I was ready for the beatdown. I was like bracing myself for the critics to go, he has a bad voice. But everybody said they like my singing voice, and I was like, okay, I'll just keep going. And I still take vocal lessons, and I still work on it every day. And it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do musically in my career, but it's also the most rewarding, especially 18 years on, and you start knowing more about how the voice works. It used to be I just thought it was a shot of whiskey, a cigar, and shout and key, in theory. But no, there's actually an art to it. There's a whole training involved.
On non-performing days, do you have a routine?
No, I learned from a guy named Ron Anderson, who basically saved my voice in 2006 and 2007. And between Ron Anderson and Dr. Joseph Sugarman in Beverly Hills, the voice doctor to the stars, I had this epiphany. He asked me, he goes, do you smoke? I go, I smoke cigars. He goes, do you drink? I go, I drink scotch. He goes, why do you do that? I go, because eventually I'd like to end up in Tahoe, like Telly Savalas and Frank Sinatra, with the clanging glass and the cigar. And he goes, then you'll end up without a singing voice. So I gave it all up. And Ron Anderson trained me how to sing. He also trained me how to speak. And because you can be very, very damaging to your voice just by talking. So warm-ups are important, but also just technique and knowing where the voice comes from and knowing how it feels when you're doing it wrong. Because you can blow your voice out in 30 minutes, less, 15. I've done it.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. I give up everything for you except the blues. When you turn 37, you look back on your life, 25 years in the music business, and you look back on it, and you realize when you were 23 that essentially you were able to do stuff and your endurance was greater. And a conversation with Jerry Flowers and Jeffrey Steele kind of started with that. And everybody's kind of sharing about what they've given up. Me, it's been cigars and scotch and food, So I was a fat kid. I was fat until I was 30. So everybody has to give up stuff. Some people give up coffee, some people give up gluten, some people give up booze, some people give up drugs, some people give up whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't judge you. And it seems like the older you get, the more of those stories you have. And the whole concept of I've given up everything except the blues, it was just, it starts off with like I gave up that 2-pack habit, yesterday, drop that shot glass just to watch it break, like stuff like that. And it really is a metaphor for if you really want to live until your 70s, 80s, 90s, that you can't keep the party going. The 20s, everybody can do anything they want, and there's no ramifications or repercussions for your actions. The minute you wake up and you're 30 and you get your first major hangover is the minute you kind of have to go, okay, I need to either stop or give it up or curtail my activities.